it's a big deal.
No, I felt it. Hey, I felt it. My name was no longer Jennifer. No, was
Yo.
no longer Jenny. For the rest of my time at UWC, I was Miss Fisher. I asked the kids like, do you guys want a glass of water? They're like, water? What's that? I'm like, water. Do you want water? Then like, yeah, I guess. So that also, it's like it's the little things, but as they start like adding up and piling up, it becomes a lot. And I feel like I was okay, because my thing is, I am someone that I live spontaneously. I live on the edge. My whole family says I'm like the wild child in the family. That is
wild
just
in a good way.
Like the risk taker, the one that's not scared to like go out there in the world and just take it as it comes, you know. But I had just lost my sister that same year, so it was I would then maybe fly to Chicago, or I'd fly to Mississippi to go visit. So I got to travel within the US itself. And then I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for this essay. So I came back home and then I applied.
Sringabhaya nabantu bonke who inspire sithatha amandla ku-interviews in pursuit of dreams and desires. Are you watching from ekhaya? Welcome sisi kumaphupho wakho wonke, don't retire. Nope. Bude emaphupheni wakho wonke, don't retire. Subscribe Ziyakhipha6to8, spetty content yakho is a date. Boza you relate. Subscribe Ziyakhipha6to8, spetty content yakho is a date. Boza you relate. Ulinde bani? Subscribe. One letter.
Akahambi yedwa. It's your resident artist and architect, Charlotte Mbata.
Yeah. And namhlanje, as we promised, we've got a guest in studio. Beautiful.
And I promised we'd reveal the name after the songs. So in studio today, we've got Ziyakhipha Mathibeli. Hey, she looks stunning as always.
Thank you so much.
If you know her, you'll know her by Jen the Bay on IG and Facebook.
So IG is actually Ziyakhipha Mathibeli 21. It's TikTok where it's Jen the Bay, and then Facebook is also just Ziyakhipha Mathibeli.
Yes.
Nice. How do we? That's the thing we're struggling with earlier on. She does so many things.
Yeah, she does.
And it's difficult to
keep up there.
Yeah, as far as we know, she's a model.
A travel agent.
She's a travel agent.
Yes.
An English teacher.
Correct.
And
An au pair.
you said you describe yourself as a lucky packet.
Yes.
Please explain.
So with the Lucky Packet, I'm sure, hopefully, all of you guys have had the opportunity to get a Lucky Packet before. With the Lucky Packet, you see the outside, they always make it so pretty and so like attractive.
Yeah.
And then once you go there, you're like, I need to have this, right? Yeah. You get the Lucky Packet, but you don't know what's inside. So what's inside is like an element of surprise. You put your hand in there, you don't know what you're about to pull out, but what you're pulling out is amazing. And it's just like, it's an endless amazement. You just keep on pulling out amazing things, and you're surprised because you did not think that you'd be pulling out like such amazing things. So
I think that is such a perfect description for you, because when we had like our debriefing session before the show, that's exactly that, because Udimo had his list of accolades or things that we can, introduce you by. And as we sat down and we got talking, like, he realized like there was just so much more. And I'm really hoping that even our listeners at home today can also just like experience that.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm hoping that, we'll have enough time to cover everything.
I'm here all day. Even if we sit midnight, I'm here. I'm here for you guys.
Sure. Otherwise, we'll have to bring you back again for part 2.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I think let's get straight into it. You want to start, Charlotte?
Yeah, I just want you to tell us a little bit more about Ujin, like your journey. You obviously have done so much.
Yes.
And I believe that the best person to sort of like just give us a basic outline of everything is you. So we'd just like to hear a bit more about you, like from your perspective.
Okay, well, I am a girl I would say small town girl. Is Hermanus a small town, right?
I mean, it is a small town. It's becoming bigger now, but it definitely was a small town.
I was born and bred in Hermanus, but my family is originally from Mathibeli in the Eastern Cape. So we used to go and visit the school holidays, but I've been here all my life. And I went to high school and primary, preschool, everything here. And then once I was done with my high school, I went to Cape Town to go study at UWC. I studied tourism and language and communication. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I want to explore the world. Hence, I studied tourism. And I went to Taiwan to go teach English for a year. So almost like a gap year, but still working type of thing. And then I came back because I really wanted to try it from South Africa. And I also wanted to work in my field as a travel agent. So I did a little bit of that. And then, unfortunately, COVID happened. Then we were all stuck indoors, had nothing to do. But luckily, while I was at home during COVID, I did come into contact with this company called Pink Licorice, where I did like skincare and some ads with them. So I worked a little bit with them. And then once the gates open, I was like, oh, I need to get back out there again.
Hey,
so then
I think the sentiments were like that for everyone.
You're right. No, but I took the leap. I was like, I'm not even going to roam around here. I just took the leap and I went all the way to the US.
You left the country.
Yes, I left the country. I was like, I was suffocating it. So I became
she was just like, I don't trust the system. I'm
something couldn't go off.
Mm-mm.
So I went to be an au pair in the US. And then after the year, I came back, and then I was a travel agent. So I actually worked in my field as a travel agent.
So before just you give us, like, you get into details with everything, right now the word on everyone's like heads is au pair. Just explain to us what an au pair is.
So an au pair is, I would say, a bougie word for nanny. Because it's basically you are taking care of the family's kids while living in their house. So they deem it almost like an exchange program, because you go over there, you stay with the family where you take care of their kids, you have a set schedule, but you also have to have like some form of school that you do, so you have to complete some credits while you're there. So part-time school, part-time nannying. So that's just a summary of what an au pair is.
Okay.
I was reading somewhere, I can't find it anymore. Because it was my first time to find out about au pair.
Oh, yeah.
So it said something about one having to be at par with the family that they are going to work with.
Yes.
Can you explain that further? What does that mean? Does it mean that academically you have to meet their standards?
Yes. So I believe with every family, just like a nanny or just like anyone you would get to work for you or work with your family, you go through interviews, you have conversations.
Yeah, it's like a job,
and
basically.
It's not just a once-off interview. Like, you will have an interview now just with, let's say, the mom or the parents. Then next time you'll get to meet the kids, because it goes in stages. If the parents have an interview with you and they feel like, I don't think she's right for our kids, then they keep it moving. You keep it moving. You go back into the pool, try and connect with the new family. So basically, it's like a connect thing. And then if you go through all those interviews and the family is like, oh, this person is perfect for our kids, and then they feel the same way, the feeling is mutual, then you will start getting all your documents and stuff ready, and then you head over and you go directly to the house. You head over to that side, and then you go straight to their house, and they introduce you to the family, and the job starts.
See? I've learned something new, and I'm trying
And also, like, I just had this image of the picture of how this interview was going to go, but as we're talking about this, I actually want us to just dive deeper into this. Just tell us a bit more about, like, being an au pair, or like your experience as an au pair. Like, I want to be an au pair, let's say, for example, like, what first of all, like, what are the documents that I need, and after I've got those documents and I go overseas, like what can I expect? And like you talked a bit about the interviews, like just tell us a bit more about how that was for you.
Okay. I must say it was quite of a long process, which is, valid because
I mean, you're going overseas.
You're going
overseas. It's not like going next door.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're going overseas. You're going to a whole foreign country. You get there, you become a foreigner, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the process, you have to at least have a degree and some childcare experience. Obviously, you can't just like, take care of your kids, and then you get there like, where do I start? So a little bit of experience. Then we did a little bit of training before we even started getting our documents ready. So you go through training for a couple of days. And then within that training, they will be able to afterwards tell you if you were successful or not.
Yeah.
So they tell you like what to expect. You go live with the family. You live in their house. You might have your own private room. You might have a cottage. You might have to share. Like it just depends family to family. And then you'll have a set schedule, your off days, your working hours, all those things. So they briefly explain everything to you, but I just wish they go into like details in terms of what to expect. Like they'll tell you, kids are difficult, and sometimes kids can be like mean, and some kids will be like, they make it vague because they don't want to scare you, right? But I would prefer them to be blunt,
to be
about
real,
it and just dive in, so people know exactly what they expect.
Yeah.
Once I got there, at first culture shock. Everything is completely different.
Sure.
Driving on the wrong side of the road. The money is different. The food is different.
So now
the culture is different. Like, it's like you starting life all over again elsewhere, So, but because I had travel experience before, it was good. But at the same time, it was, again, a whole different country on its own.
Because it's a different place. Like
completely.
One country is different from the other.
Completely. And the people are also different. So, I am very grateful for that experience. I must say, like, travel-wise, loved it. I love the kids. Like, I love kids in general.
Yeah.
But, like, the whole experience as a whole, I don't want to say I don't really recommend it if you are not in the right
state of mind, yeah.
Yeah, because it is daunting.
It takes a lot from you.
It takes a lot from you.
Yeah.
Working long hours, and then afterwards, once you're done working, you maybe go to the basement or you go to your room. You still where you work. Like, you don't leave the job.
Yeah.
And that is also sometimes frustrating. Then there's hour differences. When you're done working, you want to call your family and just like reach out and say, how are you? They're sleeping.
Sure.
Hour difference. So adjusting to that was also difficult. Adjusting to the weather and just the environment. You can't just be like, you're charming. You can't just, because now the language barrier also is just
what is a charming?
And then I asked the kids like, do you guys want a glass of water? They're like, water? What's that? I'm like, water. Do you want water? Then like, yeah, I guess. So that also, it's like it's the little things, but as they start like adding up and piling up, it becomes a lot.
And I'm sure it's like an isolating experience.
It is a very isolating experience. Hence, I say, if mentally you're not in a good state, I would prefer you to first
deal with
work on you and just deal with whatever you need to deal with before you go there. I'm not saying don't go, but I'm saying like be prepared for a lot.
Yeah. And would you say that when you went there, you were prepared mentally, or it was just you were prepared, it's just that you weren't aware of how much more you should have prepared for?
Yeah, I feel like you said it spot on.
Okay.
I feel like I was okay, because my thing is, I am someone that I live spontaneously. I live on the edge. My whole family says I'm like the wild child in the family. That is
wild
just
in a good way.
Like the risk taker, the one that's not scared to like go out there in the world and just take it as it comes, But I had just lost my sister that same year, so it was
that year that you'd lost your sister.
Yes. So actually, I applied before, and then she passed on, and then my stuff got approved after her burial, and I kind of didn't want to go anymore because I wanted to be there for my mom.
Yeah.
But then she was like, no, please go. You need to have this experience, get away, refresh your mind and all of that. So in a way, mentally, I was still getting over certain things.
Yeah.
But my heart is always like, God has a plan for me. He didn't make this happen for a reason. So just go and he'll guide you as time goes on.
Yeah.
So
And like you mentioned the passing of your sister and then now you're talking about this experience being an au pair, that you need to be like mentally well. And I think one thing that really sucks about grieving someone is that you cannot be mentally prepared like all the time. Like you never know. Like you can have a really good day today and a really bad day tomorrow.
Yes.
So for you, like how was that? Because I think when I thought like your au pair experience, I didn't think that you were also like dealing with something so big. So how was that for you?
Yes, I've because I love kids. Like being surrounded by kids makes me happy. It helps so much, and also being in a house where you can see like the family is kind of bonded, and that's what I grew up with. So now it's like, with us now, it's less people. Some people are now there and that one is that side. Everyone is living their own lives.
It's lonely.
So it's a bit lonely, and it's like, it just takes me back to my childhood where I used to be like, it's a full house always.
Yeah.
So that helped, the kids helped, but then it gets difficult when, the kids don't listen to you, or they like the way they sometimes treat you or talk back to you, like a bit inhumane. Because also that breaks you.
You are well. Like you're something different to them. Like you come from a different country, and without being too political, you come from Africa. You're going to America, and I can only imagine that also plays its part. Like you're getting asked questions that are just like
you're talking about the lions that are walking in my backyard.
Oh my goodness!
And then the giraffe that I took to my grandfather's house the other day.
Yo.
It's a thing, hey? It's crazy, but it's a thing. Like, they asked so many things about, like, Africa. Like, do you guys have cell phones? Like,
and it's shocking.
Is there power? How do you take a bath? And, like, sometimes I would be like, it's kids. So, like, I would joke around and be like, I actually go to the river, sometimes wash my lion. After washing my lion, I wash myself, Then obviously you get the water so I can go cook, I just like, I spun some stories, yes. Yeah. But then eventually I'll be honest with them, and then I tell them, no, it's like normal, But it's still fascinating for them to see a person like me, like a normal person from a whole different world, coming to their world, and like we now like face to face. And the fact that I would speak my home language on the phone, then they're like, what are you saying? Like they are, and also so they know English and Spanish. Yes, exactly. It's like mind-blowing.
Your home language is Sesotho.
Sesotho, yes.
As I looked at your name, I realized that Mathibeli is Mathibeli with the L.
L, but you say it with the D. Yes.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
So, somewhere in this interview, please hoist some Sotho in there. Just
Oscar Tawa Buti get like I get like
okay.
Yeah, Oscar Tawa. Good.
Sure. Wow. There's a girl on TikTok. I was watching her videos. She's living abroad as well, and she was mentioning how lonely it gets sometimes because you're in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Your friends are left behind, your family, relatives, and everybody, and it's even hard to make new friends. And another thing that I picked up when you said water. It's only up until you explained it that I realized, okay, we need to forgive people who have been to the US and come back and their accent is a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Because now it's making sense that you have to adjust to...
And you can't insist on saying water. Like, you can't insist. You're the only one. Literally. And it's a whole nation that says
my
water.
Point. And otherwise you're going to keep repeating yourself over and over. I once ordered water. That lady was so confused for the longest until it clicked. I was like, water. She's like, oh, yes, of course, certainly. And I was like... So yeah, that's a thing. It's an actual thing because you have to
That's a
try
culture
and
shock.
adjust to their accent so they can understand you.
Yeah,
Because you are the
yeah.
foreigner with a different accent.
And also trying to coach yourself into not taking things personally, because in a situation like that, it's so easy to take everything personally. Like, how could you not understand what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
You know, but at the same time, you need to understand that I'm in their world.
Yes.
Like, everything that they know to be a certain way is suddenly shaken or different because I'm here. So
Exactly.
it can either I can get retaliation, you know, or they can just run with it. But
Yes.
chances are it's an inconvenience to just run with it
And
to them.
exactly,
You know?
and they can't really tell by just looking at you that you're not American. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So for them, it's also like, okay.
Also,
Like-
when I only yellow bony, so
Hey,
Did you-
Hey, Huta, I'm from the Caribbean, Haiti. I'm from the islands. I'm from everywhere.
Exotic.
Apparently, it's
Yo.
international.
Aye.
Yeah, because you do find women that look like you. in those
Yeah,
areas.
she
Yes,
does look
yes.
exotic.
Yeah. Ke rata hairstyle ya hao, man. How about
Yeah,
for the camera? Just
It's giving
show-
Tyler. It's giving water.
Joyce, how about when it comes to Joyce?
Yes.
Shut up, girl. No,
shout out to
she
Joyce.
always knows
Where is
how
she
to do the
located?
right thing. What's that street called? It's on what's this
Close to
main
the
street?
building.
Yeah,
Wait,
yes,
I
close
know
to a
Joyce's
building.
saloon. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Close to a
I'm
building.
Just next door.
Making sure that.
they know.
Yeah,
they
just
know.
next door.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that
cool.
yellow building. Yes.
You mentioned something about culture differences.
Mm-hmm.
The culture
Is there
shock,
one
yeah.
one or two things that you found strange when you were there, and you're like, shucks, in South Africa we do this like this, but you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of stuff. Hey,
Sure.
Right.
a lot of things. One thing that I will say that shocked me the most is I've heard of a girl that worked for a family where they put shoes in the dishwasher.
Whoa.
That should be blasphemy.
Wow.
That should be illegal.
They wash their hair
Kidding.
Uh-huh.
in the sink in the kitchen.
No. Hair.
That also
Inwele.
inwele, like the hair in the sink where you wash your dishes. They wash their hairs there. And the dogs, I forgot. Yes.
Wow.
There's a lot of
Yo.
very like strange things that I've picked up. Also like washing your clothes. Like I would wear a t-shirt for 5 minutes. They throw it in the wash. Tina,
Oh.
vutulula nje, just
back
in the
Nobody
cupboard
got time for that.
again. No, not there. And
If
also,
I know ivumba,
if my irritating, and then that thing of they don't like so they deem outside clothes. So let's say I step outside now,
yeah,
and I go back home. Before I sit on like my bed or anything, I have to take the clothes off, or I have to take a shower because they deem this as like outside dirty clothes.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know,
that brings in the germs.
when you
or
say
something.
that, like, I'm thinking about your teaching in Taiwan, you know, because
Yes.
I know from social media, obviously, that it's a big thing, like in the Asian cultures, that when you get into the house, like, it's your outside shoes. There's
Yes.
an emphasis on that.
Yes.
So it wouldn't shock me if you
Yeah.
said, but in Taiwan, like maybe
Yeah.
your outside clothes. This is
Clothes
out-
there.
I
No,
didn't
with the
know
clo-
that
in
America,
Taiwan,
it is a thing there as
I feel
well.
like in Taiwan, clothes-wise, it's not as bad, but the shoes is
It's a
huge.
no-no.
Yeah,
Makes
America's
sense.
shoes is also a thing, but the clothes thing is like huge. It's almost like, why would you do that?
Oh my
Like,
goodness, I never
that's
thought of
so
that.
So
dirty.
you mean that the outfit got Beyonce that we see her wearing in public? I figure that lady, she changes.
She has to take it off.
So now
She was outside.
Here I am influenced by
greeting, hugging
Beyonce.
people.
I wear mine
Yo.
the whole day.
Yeah,
No issues. Candiana, she's taking hers
and taking it off.
Oh, yeah.
Taking it off.
No.
I mean, obviously, I don't know if it works like that for everyone, but
Yeah.
that's one of the common things that
That
I've
you
picked
see.
up as well. Yeah.
I think it's the same thing that shocks us about China and eating dogs and things like that. And someone said, look, understand this. If you were living in China, if you
You
grew
would
up
also
there,
do it. You'd
this-
be
this
with
would
it.
normal
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
You know? And like how people get shocked when we eat about chicken feet.
Masonja.
Yes.
Masonja.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
It's
so
just like, you eat worms. That is
I've
amazing.
never. I wanted to try once, but I was like,
Yeah, and also Natimos, it's like different regions of South Africa that have their thing, you know. So I suppose on a greater, more global scale, it also makes sense. Like it makes sense that America would have their own things that are just like so different from our own, and that we would have ours that are so different.
And they have their own world. Hey, it's like you know the class president, or like. Is it? Do you call it the class president?
Class rep. We call it class rep.
Yeah, like a class rep, the one that writes down people's names, the one that takes register. I feel like
that's liked by the teacher.
Yeah. But not the one that's liked by the teacher. The one that
the leader in the class
forces the teacher to like them so they can be the leader of the class.
I like
that one. Yeah. Yes. I feel like I had a bit of a feeling. Please, I'm not attacking no one. Please don't fight me. Please don't come for me. But I feel like that's how I perceived it when I was there. Like they're very much like it's about us, about me,
main character vibes.
Main character vibes.
But I will also see it in movies though. It's always America getting bombed and then America saves the world. Yeah. Which is cool in movies. But
that American dream though.
Which state were you in?
Georgia, Atlanta.
Okay. Is it when you arrived?
Yes.
Is it as we see things in movies, like the beauty and everything?
At some parts, yes. Not everywhere, but some parts. If let's say I saw a certain, for example, Chicago, it's one of my favorite. When I was there, I saw it as you see it in the movies, for sure. Atlanta, little bit. I don't see it much in movies, but for the parts that I've seen in movies, it's typically like that. A lot, yes. There's gravel roads also there.
Same size as ours?
Obviously not. No, obviously not.
So we'll still take the cup.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Yeah.
So it's not. Some parts are gorgeous. Some parts are just like normal. It also just depends on which part of the town you go to, as well.
Makes sense.
Because obviously in the movies they will show you
the best parts.
Exactly.
Obviously, like no one is gonna show you like,
exactly
the ghetto. But just to end this segment off, because I don't know if we're gonna play a song or we're gonna continue.
Yeah, we can do that.
But
so
shame. Whenever. So before we end the segment, I just wanted to ask, of all these traits that we've asked of you about by the different, which of them have you brought them home with you? Abanye, they come with the lingo.
Yes.
The lingo is a bit different. Which ones did you carry home with you?
I think I came back with on phoneme grey. That just means like almost like on my mama. Like that's what's up. It's like a show.
God.
On phoneme grey.
On phoneme grey.
The broski and filler on phoneme grey.
Like on the phone, I'm great. On phone, I'm great.
sounds like that.
I'm trying to find a way that I can remember it.
So actually, how it's actually said, because they slang everything.
Yeah.
It actually says on foe, as in foe.
Enemy.
Them's grave. So almost like on my mama's grave, like on my mama.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, on phoneme grave.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are going to learn today.
We're going to learn some stuff today. We're going to learn today.
We're going to learn. We're going to learn. You're not going to learn. We're going to learn.
Yeah. It's no more learning, please.
Let's go to a song and then we'll come back.
Oh, cool.
Ulindebale, subscribe.
Welcome back, and in studio we still have our guest Ziyakhipha Mathibeli.
Hey guys.
And if you weren't able to be here for like the first segment of the show, we're basically talking about her experience as an au pair in America, and now I want to do another like continental shift, and I want her to tell us a bit more about her experience as a teacher, an English teacher in Taiwan. And she told us all about like her experience being in America, but we are so lucky because Namhlanje we've got a person that can give us like different perspectives of everything. Like tell us a bit more about your experience in Taiwan.
Okay, so in Taiwan, that was also a completely different experience. I feel like each continent you go to typically seems like it's a new and completely different world.
Yeah.
I love Taiwan. It's one of my favorite places to go to. The people there, humanity, crazy. They also do like certain culture shocks in terms of like food, opposite sides of the road of driving, you know. But I thought
it was only like the other Western countries, like America.
And no, it's like, some places actually just on the other side. I don't know. Are we the problem? I'm not sure. Are we the drama?
I don't think we're the drama.
But yeah, little things like that. And I feel like teaching again, like I love kids so much. Like kids make me so happy. Just their joy and watching them grow and learn. So I was there for a year. I was teaching them English. So basically it's different age groups. So the one class that I had, they were 3 years old. The other class, they were 4, 5, and 6 mixed in one class.
Yeah.
Half of the kids know a little bit of English here and there. The other half know absolutely nothing. So you starting them from like scratch completely. And it's like, at first you're talking to a wall because you say something to them, then just like,
and does it feel awkward?
Well, it does at first because it's like, okay, so now what do you do? But being a teacher is important, especially with kids, because you have to improvise.
Yeah.
Then you see like the attention span is now also getting out of hand. Then you're like, you know what? Let's stand up, let's stretch, let's do a 12 for like 2 seconds just to get their brains now flowing again, get them back to focus again. And yeah, just teaching them the basics of English. Like my name is I love this, my favorite color is my favorite fruit, and also teaching them how to say those in sentences as well, and how to use them in sentences. So watching them grow from when I just started to half of them not knowing anything to the end of the year and we're having conversations with each other. That was one of my favorite things. And just also, I love how teachers are praised in Taiwan.
Wow.
Like how doctors and nurses and in other countries are praised. In Taiwan, teachers are deemed as one of the most important people.
Wow.
Because it's education.
As it should be, because I think teachers have so much responsibility on their hands, because nurses, doctors, engineers, they all come from teachers. Like I feel like it should be the highest paying profession. I'm not just saying that
I've been saying the same thing, but I don't know who we have to talk to about that, but it's fine. But yeah, it was just such an amazing feeling, because they would look at you and see and be like, this person is definitely not from here. Having braids, and they walk up to you trying to touch your braid, but like not wanting to, but they're so like intrigued, because I feel like Taiwan, since they became independent from China, they just live their own life. So they're very like, not isolated, but on their own. They do their own thing, but very loving, very family oriented, and just like they're like about living life to the fullest,
and
but
you
still
say
working
like
hard.
Open-minded as well, or still a bit more conservative?
I think because they didn't have that independence yet, they still want to bask in that. We want to do this. This is about us. This is who we are. And then some obviously would be open to learning about other places and people, but it's just like, I feel like slowly but surely they'll get there.
Okay.
For sure. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. I would love to go back again. I still have a lot of friends and family that are that side. So
that you made, obviously,
that I made when I was that side, yes. So when I initially went, I went with one of my best friends, and then I ended up
South Africa.
Yes, from South Africa. So I ended up leaving her there after a year because I want to enter Miss South Africa,
which we'll cover a bit later on as well.
Yes, no problem. But yes, I was like, I don't want to run out of time when it comes to that. I didn't want to do it like a last minute thing. Yeah, because it has always been like, one of my dreams since a very young age. So yeah, and then after that year I came back home. But Taiwan is really one of my favorite places. Yeah, definitely.
And like when you were explaining, like you were talking about the kids, like I just wanted to know, like, what were some of the skills that you needed for that experience, like the skills that you needed beforehand, like in order to be a teacher in teaching English, like in Taiwan?
So firstly, you would need a degree, for sure. Secondly, know
like
how,
a specific degree.
It doesn't have to be specific, as long as you completed like tertiary, basically.
Okay, and a diploma.
Diploma is also good. So anything above high school.
Okay,
yes,
that's
anything
cool.
above high school is perfect. And needs to be completed, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
And you have to know English and know how to speak English.
I mean, you are going to be teaching English.
And I would definitely say patience. Patience is very important.
And it's kids.
Yeah, kids. Knowing how to understand different personalities as well.
Yeah.
Kids have their own personalities. So imagine like 20 different personalities in one class, where you have to be able to accommodate each and every personality, be understanding to each and every personality, but also try and bind those personalities together to make it one. If that makes sense, because they need to work together. They'll eventually become friends. They'll sit together. They'll eat together. Yeah. So to bind that and like bring it together was also very important. And have energy.
Yo, I can only imagine.
Energy.
You said grade 3. Was it grade 3 or was it 3-year-olds?
Age 3. So 3-year-olds.
Yo.
Yeah, 3-year-olds. 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds.
That's the toddler stage. That's deep in the toddler stage.
Exactly. So that's when you'll be running around, jumping around, screaming, shouting, singing, all of that. Sometimes you'll go on the jungle gym with them, not just watch them, because some kids want that interaction, you know. So, and just being able to understand that, yes, kids are fast learners, but then you get kids that aren't fast learners. How do you incorporate a child that's like done in 5 minutes and another child that's like done in 15 minutes? So maybe getting ideas of having like puzzles or maybe games that you can print out for the other child that gets done quickly. You know, just you have to be able to think on the spot.
On the spot, yeah.
You have to be able to create new ideas in your mind as well, because after a while, the same things that you do with kids also, for them it becomes tedious and too repetitive. They don't really like, now they're bored. Yeah. So you have to be able to come up with something new as time goes on. So it's a very rewarding job, but hey, make sure that
Uchimile.
Did you have access to social media while you were there?
Yes, I definitely did.
I've seen a couple of videos online where some people were explaining that social media in places like China is not the same as in other countries. For instance, they say that kids or the content that's pushed is content that teaches kids to do like science, you know, get creative and things like that, which is totally different from what we see. Did you experience that?
Not necessarily, I would say. We did have social media like your Instagrams, your Facebooks. They don't have WhatsApp, they have Line. They also have WeChat. So there's some different social media platforms that we don't have that they have, but YouTube as well they have. But what I've learned that in certain content, let's say on YouTube, you can't always access. It might have changed now, I'm not sure, but
that's interesting.
Some content was not accessible. So I would say it could be in some parts where this is
like entertainment content.
Yes. They were. It's almost normal with ours. It's just that I guess they chose what to block out for, you know, for certain.
And I suppose that does make sense, because I've come across videos, even here in South Africa, where it says this video is not available, like in your country, which makes sense. I suppose you get, like, it makes sense for you to get a lot of those blockages because you obviously accustomed to the content here.
Yes.
So when you try and access it that side, maybe there may be even more restrictions.
Exactly.
In terms of the rules or the laws, do's and don'ts, is there anything that you found bizarre? You're like, So we're not supposed to do this here?
In Taiwan.
Yeah.
So Taiwan, I must say, it's very safe. Very, very safe. I used to go on like walks at like 2 a.m. in the morning if I can't sleep.
Coming from
With
South Africa, that's a culture shock. That's a
Listen,
culture shock.
Mamela, with earphones, did you stroll?
Wow.
2 a.m. and there's like some stores are like 24/7. You can go in, grab yourself something to eat, something to drink. Crime is not a thing because apparently I stand to be corrected. They might still have the death penalty.
Oh.
So crime is not a thing.
It's not a
there. Like if
thing.
you hear about crime, you'll be like, oh, what
You
just
do the
happened?
crime,
you know?
you do the time.
Exactly. And you do the time.
Forever.
Honey. You do the time. Compared to, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's all go.
ish.
They know it's fine. It's fine. It's happiness tetele.
In terms of food, did you find your favorite food?
Oh, it took my friend and I think 2 months to try and get used to their food. So we used to go
Actively trying.
like
Not
actively-
just like, wait, I'll try next week. I'll try another
okay,
day.
let me not lie. The first, I think, 2 weeks, we would go and they would look at the food and be like,
It's not
"Ke
mixture.
jwale le hlakae,
You can wake your mom.
Yeah,
ke pheuwe ke
phela,
mang, ene
e
ke ho tletse
shwele."
dintho, what's happening?" Then you be like, but there's McDonald's right there. So for now, let's just McDonald's quickly. We'll be back here.
Yeah.
For a while, that kept going, like, Then I was like, you know what? I'll take one for the team. And I did it. And I was like, this is not bad, actually. It's really good. It's
wow.
very good. And then my friend is very skeptical with certain foods. If it doesn't look good, she's not doing
She
it.
eats with her eyes first.
I was the guinea pig of all the foods of tasting. Like, how does it taste? Then I would have to explain to her, oh, it has this type of flavor. It's almost like chicken like KFC pa.
Yeah.
And but also not, but with a twist. And like I had to actually explain to her
To
before she
sell the
even
food to her.
I had
Yeah.
to sell the food to her. But then at the same time, again, is that chicken?
Oh.
Is that beef?
Okay.
But it was one of those things also. But after a while, exactly. After a while, just
and
like
most importantly, they're alive.
Yeah.
That's when I'm put in situations
Exactly.
where I'm just like, I have to do this. Like maybe it's like food. Like I've never had food like this before. Like when you visit families and they're eating something different from what you eat at home, I look at all of them and be like, they're still alive.
exactly.
There are chances that I'll live after
my
eating this
scat,
food.
as long as you make sure life insurance, medical aid is on
Covered.
standby. Number one.
Take risks.
Yeah, I told my friend my medical aid is sorted. It's in my back pocket. I'll do the best for us. Don't worry.
What did you do for fun? What are places that you found
Oh,
interesting?
we used to go places, like a lot of places. Taiwan is huge, actually.
Sure.
We would go obviously to some nightclubs. Dance the night away there. We visited, it's called Bali, not the Bali that we know, but it's called Bali. It's like by Tamsui River. You literally cross the river with the ferry where you can go to another place where it's almost like an island on its own, where there's like different markets, different things that you can do. We also went to like the zoos, some theme parks that they have. Go to town where you can Taipei 101. It's this long building that lights up. You visit around there. There's restaurants. Like it's endless things to do around there. Yeah, we even went on those, the cable cars where you can go from one end to the other. Yeah.
Sounds like money talks. Sounds like as long as
Yes,
die
guys.
yakho ikry,
Geld.
ons
Wys
is
vir ons die
maar-
geld en dan kan ons dinge maak gebeur vir jou.
Hoor jy?
And,
Verstaan jy?
Hoor jy wat sy sê?
Okay.
Eers
Please
geld.
translate that.
Imali phambili okunye
Yeah,
kuyalandela.
Once again, the currency conversation comes in.
Yes.
Is it more expensive or cheaper than
I would say cheaper. Way cheaper.
Wow.
When I had a little studio apartment when I was staying there.
Oof, Mr. Studio
And-
apartment.
But it's so small though. Like I realize now the
What's
studio
small
is
when you live in South Africa?
Yeah,
What's
good
small?
question.
Hmm? My
the
shed
thing
is
is,
like, 3x3.
the thing is with us, we still have like our backyard nyana, the front yard
you're
nyana.
right.
They don't have that. Like it's literally just buildings stacked on top of each other, and like
Oh.
they're very narrow and like just like built up like that. Yeah, so it was small, but it was like livable. Like I could live there basically.
Yeah.
And for that place, for like water, electricity, washing machine, Wi-Fi, everything, I paid like I think 10,000 rand for everything. Like
Oh, wow.
for the whole month. Let's say you get paid, for example, 30,000, and then 10,000 is gonna cover your housing, your food, groceries, everything, and then the rest you can either save or you can go splurge. And also buying stuff at the groceries, very very cheap and affordable.
Wow.
Yeah, you end up spending, that thing where you, it's just
I
5
just got
rand,
grab.
but another 10 rand put in your basket. When you get to
That's
the till,
me
you're
in an
like,
art store. It just does not balance. It's like going to Clicks with Discam.
you understand? But since we are here, now that we are here,
Yo.
here, you have to swipe that card.
When I listen to you talk about Taiwan, there's just so much energy. There's so much light.
I
Like
love
there's so
that
much
place.
excitement. And I'm just like that was missing when you were talking about America. Like I wanted to ask, but like, were you able to explore America like the same that you were able to explore Taiwan?
I was able to explore America for sure. I did go because with the family that I was with, there was another au pair, so there was 2 of us actually.
Oh, so you
So
did shift.
she we used to do shifts, but then if we are both off, we would go and explore. So we'd go either like to town in Atlanta, or we'd go hiking in like the rivers. We also would do like mini drives to like Nashville. I also would do like on weekends, if I'm off, I would then maybe fly to Chicago, or I'd fly to Mississippi to go visit. So I got to travel within the US itself for sure.
That is so
but
cool.
I feel like the US for me was more about let me travel and see the US, whereas Taiwan, it was more about let me learn about the culture, let me learn about the people, interact with the people, and obviously see what it has in store.
It felt more personal. It sounds like
way
it felt
more.
more personal.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Money
I feel like
talks.
in the US, I went there to go do a job and come back. But Taiwan, I went there
For the experience.
and then I had a job also,
Oh, wow.
if that makes sense.
So after all this experience of being abroad, once you've got your money right,
Yes.
not that I know how your wallet is
Yes.
sitting right now.
That time it's laying down. It's not even sitting.
Yo, welcome to the club.
Yo, shaligala so.
Do you want to live overseas or still live in South Africa?
I love South Africa. It's home. It will always be home. But I believe for what I want to do and what I want to achieve, I need to maybe get away for a couple of years, stack up, my money, and stack up my experience, stack up on my experience and my travel bag that I have. I need to let it out. I feel like
and learn more
because
it sounds like you learn so
for
much
sure.
from
And
traveling.
I don't know why, but for some reason when I'm in like different countries, I get to travel more and better to like other countries as well, like other neighboring countries. Whereas when I'm here, it's a little bit more difficult because everything is so like expensive, and
Of course.
it's in the distance also on top of that. So I would live there maybe say max 5 years, and if my things are in order, then I can always come back home and build something for myself.
Of course.
Unless someone wants to put a ring on it by mistake,
Which is highly possible.
It's possible,
Yeah.
but ngiyasaba. So man, why ain't got to feeling shot nje? Yeah.
What are you doing? Okay. Without apedies.
Ke a leboha.
Without apedies.
Ke a leboha, ntate.
Are we gonna get straight into the travel agent stuff?
Let's see how the time is
We talked
looking.
enough about Taiwan?
You know what? I think let's get into that as well, because we want to hear everything, and if Sasatama breaks all the time, and we're gonna continue with
okay.
So since you've told us just a little bit more about your travel experiences, it makes sense now when we when we hear the title that you were a travel agent.
Yes.
Please tell us a bit more about that. Like, did it come as a result of your traveling, or were you that before you started traveling?
So I found love for tourism, I think grade 10, Mrs. Smith. I don't know if you remember her from Hermanus High.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite human ever at that school. She taught us tourism, and the way she, when a teacher tells a story and she has a passion for what she's doing. She used to tell us a story. She didn't just teach us. And that, for me, I think that's where I started loving tourism and just like the world out there. I feel like opened up my mind to like
to what you
there's
knew.
way more out there to just like where you are right now.
It's more than just South Africa.
And it's you're able to go explore. Don't wait for someone to be like, hey, let's go here, or hey, did you hear this? Like, go out there and explore. So since then, I did my tourism, grade 10, 11, matric, and then I went to go study at UWC tourism and language and communication. So then I knew that I wanted to be in the tourism field. I just was still trying to figure out what I would like to do. Do I want to be a travel agent? Do I want to be a tour operator? Am I sitting just in offices and just booking people's trips? Am I at the airport booking people's flights? Like, I was still figuring out where exactly I want to be. Then it came to me that I love discovering new places and seeing, like, hearing of a place and then putting the picture together and then like, whoa, okay, it's coming together. So that's how I was like, okay, actually, I want to be a travel agent.
Wow.
Because as a travel agent, you get to play around, look for these places that people want to go to. Like, for example, you tell me you want to go to Greece. And then I would ask you, like, okay, who are you going with? Is it just you and hubby? Is it you, hubby, and the little one? What's the occasion? Like, what are you celebrating? Yes, yeah. I'm putting it.
Greece.
Yeah, she's receiving.
Receive.
Greece.
She has spoken a word over me.
Hallelujah. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Trust you with the prayers. Trust him with the prayers.
So then just like finding out what you want to explore, what you want to experience. So then you would give me all the information, like it's you, hubby, the little one, you want to go in February for 7 days. You tell me you want to experience Santorini, Mykonos, and then I ask you, like, how do you want it to, like, are you flying there, obviously, do you want business class, economy, like all the details of your travel.
Obviously, the things that I don't want to have to do if I don't have to.
Literally. So a travel agent is that person that plans your whole entire holiday, and you just need to sit back, relax, and obviously slide me that black card,
of course,
so we can make things happen. So yeah, and like I really enjoyed it because you get to, as you're searching for this place, you learn about a new place right next to it, or you didn't even know, oh, this place actually offers this, little things like that. So yeah, that's how I became a travel agent. So like booking your flights, your accommodation, transfers, car hire, activities, excursions, anything and everything that's travel related.
And like being a travel agent, like are you like on a solo mission, or is there like an organization that you sort of like work with or that you report to?
Yeah. I worked at Pen Travel. So that's a travel agency. They have quite a few branches in like the Western Cape, also in Gauteng, Durban.
So that's where you're working now full time?
I was working there, yes. I recently just left. Is in December? Yeah, like mid-December.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm fresh out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the leaving, was it planned or was it
planned.
Unforeseen circumstances?
It's planned because God is opening up some other doors for me. So yeah,
love it when the man upstairs does that.
The doors cracked open for now. It's just for me to kick it open and go inside, basically. Yeah. So yeah.
That's good.
Do you only accommodate
Abroad travels?
Yeah, because I wanted to know if, for instance, somebody wants
You do
to,
local.
Local. Oh no, we definitely locals. One of our number one. Also, we do local trips. We do international trips. We also assist international people, but we just can't assist them with flights. So let's say you are in Amsterdam and you want to come to South Africa. We can assist you with the flight as long as it touches South African soil. But we can't book a flight for you from Amsterdam to New Zealand.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it has to
like,
touch
let's say
SA
maybe
soil.
like the one that come from Ethiopia maybe to South Africa. I don't know anything about traveling.
Yes.
I just know there's like layover flights or whatever.
Yes,
whatever.
layovers,
So
yes,
like if
yes.
it comes from Ethiopia to South Africa, then you are in charge of that one. But
Yes,
anything else that comes
yes,
from
if-
anywhere else.
Perfect, yes.
Okay.
So if it touches South African soil, we can assist you. However, if let's say you are calling me from Amsterdam and you're saying, hey, listen, I would love to go to Mauritius, are you able to assist with booking me a trip to Mauritius? I can assist with accommodation. I can also assist with transfers. So all the land I can do, but they would have to book their own flights because it's not going to touch South African soil unless they fly via Joburg to there, which wouldn't make sense to do that. So yeah, in that case, then we only do like accommodation or land. Yeah.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah.
Makes me want to grab my bags and go to Santorini.
Immediately. I would just
Pronto.
advise everyone, even if no one said nothing to you, just have your passport ready.
All the time.
All the time. Stay
Okay.
ready so you don't have to get ready.
Also, it's also like speaking things into existence.
Exactly.
It's
I
walking
believe in
faith.
that. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, I'm writing it
Yeah.
down on my
Please,
resolutions.
please, pin it down.
So if I've got dreams of becoming a travel agent, how do I go about doing that? Yeah.
I would definitely say if you can do like a diploma in tourism or study tourism at a university.
Yeah.
You can also do like certain internships because there are companies that allow people that don't necessarily have tourism experience.
It's like apprenticeship.
Yes, so
Yeah.
they allow you to maybe to come in and learn the ropes of tourism, just at least have an idea of the world. Like if we Comba, where's Africa now? You are showing us Russia. It's not gonna work.
Brazil and Africa,
now
they
like,
kind of look the same if you squint your
if
eyes.
you squint and if you turn the page, if you just slightly, then no.
It could pass for Africa.
Yeah, just at least the little things about tourism and travel. But like my company that I worked for, they do take in, if they see great potential and growth in you, they are willing to take you in, do like training, and then see if you could do well in it, and then you can grow like that as time goes on.
And also, is there a future like in it? You know, because sometimes like Tina Sifunis and this is teacher, doctor, nurse, even doctor's a bit of a reach sometimes. Sometimes we just want to be something close, you know? And
sure.
I think that limits us in terms of like things that we can do, because I could be a person who genuinely likes traveling and likes anything that's got to do with that, you know? But coming from some of the communities that we come from, it's not even a thing that's mentioned. And the moment you say tourism, tourism, you know, so like
actually,
I want you to demystify that for us.
That is crazy that you'd say that, because when I told people I was studying tourism, some people were like, okay, then what? I was like, what do you mean then what? So then they were like, this like tourism has no future, like tourism is not going anywhere.
No one told us that. We just decided.
And then COVID happened. Then I was like, yo, were they actually being serious? Like tourism is done for, because now no one can travel, no one can go anywhere. But there definitely is a future in tourism. It just depends what you want to achieve. Like you can become a travel expert, where you maybe have one or two big high-end clients that come only to you to book their travel essentials. You can even maybe work for the government one day and like make sure that when the ministers and people are traveling, you are taking care of their travel stuff. It just depends on how far you want to go with it. And what you want to do with it. If you maybe one day want to open your own travel company where people come directly to you to sort out their travel and their holidays.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how you want to push it.
Yeah. And also I feel like sometimes like when the man above gives you a certain vision, it's so important to be first to keep it to yourself.
Yes.
Put out a list of the things that you need to do in order to achieve it, and then only after when it's achieved, then start explaining to people. Because sometimes like that can really kill a dream. For example, when you told people that you were doing tourism, and then now they come with their own ideas because they don't know the vision that you have. Asking, what are you gonna do with this? But now, fast forward years later, they're like, Jennifer,
we saw you in there, and then you were there, and then now. You're in front of me. Carefully. Tourism is not just about book a flight and leave. It's so broad.
There's a lot to it because I saw in December, my husband and I did like a little family vacay.
Cute.
It was really nice. So, but like one of the things that I noticed in that trip is like it's so important to have like a travel agent or someone who at least has some bit of knowledge like when it comes to that, because we were doing everything like
yourselves.
Okay, now we need to find a hotel. That is we need to compare rates. We need to, and also these things fluctuate with time. So you need someone that has knowledge in those things that will tell you, no, don't go there on the Sunday. Go there on a Monday because the tickets are cheaper.
Yes.
They look at the bus going there, they look at the trip, they look at the just like how far the places are from your hotel and if it actually will be feasible staying there or not. There's so much more that goes into that. So I'm so glad that there are people travel agents. And I like what you say, that there's definitely business. It's actually wild now that you're explaining it to think that there isn't like a future in tourism, because we see it here in Hermanus. We're always seeing tourists all the time. They need spaces.
They need assistance.
One of the things that we said, we were like, we could actually make a lot of money if we had like our own place, like we make it look nice.
You could.
And we just have it as an option for people that are traveling, because sometimes people just want a place to sleep and then wake up and do activities.
Exactly.
But they end up being so expensive, that you feel like, I could rather just sleep in my car.
Literally.
So imagine there was like a more feasible option, So
Sure. Travel agents are, I say, like a fairy godmother.
Yes.
Because
perfectly.
Literally, you don't have to think of anything. I take care of it. If there is complications in your trip, they call me or you call me, and then I sort it out for you. That's one of the ups of having a travel agent. I remember the one client called in and said, but if I book it through you, isn't it going to be more expensive? I was like, well, we do charge a consultancy fee for the job that I'm doing. So it's not that much, but it saves you a lot of time and a lot of heartache if anything goes wrong.
Yeah. Because also, you are also working. Can't be expected to be for free.
It's my job at the end of the day. And also, you called me for a reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And also, I assume that you work with reputable companies.
Yes.
Yeah, because today the world is full of scammers.
Yeah, no, we work with like a lot of companies and like suppliers that we trust. So we have had like a handful of suppliers that we use and work with. So we wouldn't just like send people to random places that we've never been to.
Of course.
And even when you're searching for like these different places, we sometimes go to TripAdvisor to see what the people say about it.
The reviews.
If they give them 3 stars, I'm not giving my client that at all.
See,
so
now your client doesn't have to go and check those themselves.
They don't have to do all of that, but they still do, just to see like the pictures of how the places look. Would they be fine with it, or would they be happy with that? But there's a lot that goes into being a travel agent.
With regards to scams, do you and your company or you yourself and other fellow travel agents discuss new scams? Do you update each other on what's happening out there in terms
on
of
like what to watch out on in terms of like clients or
yes, like whether it's clients or
because clients can be scammers as well.
Yeah, or certain companies that are posing as legit
yes
when they are not.
So I think that's why we stuck with our suppliers. The suppliers that we have, let's say we have 10 suppliers that we go to, they are our go-to suppliers. We would only work with them. And if there is a new supplier that wants to come in and maybe join the team, they go through like a thorough like check, and there's a process before they just hop in and become, part of the team, because we want to make sure that we avoid stuff like scamming and these dodgy things. You never know nowadays.
Yeah.
By suppliers, do you mean like companies that offer activities?
So companies, perfect example would be Beachcomber. Beachcomber is a company that has resorts in Mauritius. So we would go through them to get like a different rates for the different rooms and different resorts. So they might have like 4-star resorts, 5-star resorts. Then we would call through to them and say, I have a family of 5. They would love to do water activities, water sports. They want to have like maybe a family apartment, or they want maybe an interconnecting room. What do you have open? What do you have available? These are the dates. And then they'll send us like a quote of, these are the options. This is what you can do. And then we then go back to the clients and be like, this is what they can do for you. So we almost like the middleman at sometimes, not always. So we like help the clients get what they need from the actual supplier.
Like you said, it takes all the trouble out
the
of
stress
my hand.
away. For sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
Hey, I really like this.
Yeah.
I've learned so much as well. Oh my goodness. And I think have you asked everything that you wanted to ask on this topic?
Everything I wanted to ask.
Okay, I think I've also asked everything that I've asked, and you've mentioned like some of the things that we didn't even ask, which were really good information as well. Next segment, I just want us to dive into your pageantry. I think we mentioned a little bit when you talked about Taiwan that you had to leave and come back because you wanted to join Miss South Africa pageant. And I just like want you to tell us a little bit more about that. Like, what is that pageantry? Like, what is it about? We just see it on the TV and it's there.
Okay, so with my pageantry, I think it started when I was 15. I'm sure you know her, Miss Fikiswa. The lady that also has her own, So she also basically recruited me, I would say. She once saw me and she said, I'm doing this beauty pageant. You are stunning. I feel like you'll be perfect for it. And I was like, me? Little me. But crazy thing is, I've always had a love and passion for modeling. But at the time, when you're still growing, high school, you're going through puberty, you're growing, and it's like, your body is changing and you're still trying to learn yourself, and discovering. So at the time I was still like nervous, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm like able to do this. And I was kind of shy also at the time, but at the same time it's like I'm shy, but once I'm on stage,
Sasha Fierce.
Oh, you better watch out.
Say no more.
She has 24 hours to respond.
Oh wow.
I'm just joking, but that was my first beauty pageant experience. It was amazing. I won, and then after that there was just like more pageants coming up here in Harmonis, and I was like, the next one was Miss Overstrand.
Okay.
I took part in that one as well, won that one as well.
Girl,
and then there was another Miss Tiara in Houston. I did that one, also won that one.
This girl is like,
and then there was another one that I did. I can't remember. It was like the at Andres. When I catch you, when I catch you, English.
When I catch you, Ricky.
Andres. So there was another one there. I think I came second place there. And then I went to varsity.
Yeah.
My first year there was this Mr. and Miss Fresher. competition.
Yeah.
I took part in that and I won that one as well.
And I don't want you to just like,
witness.
I was there to witness that. And also, like, I don't want you to brush past that one because, first of all, it was a lot of people that were taking part in it.
Yes.
And they were stunning.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So to win that, like, it's a big deal.
No, I felt it. Hey, I felt it. My name was no longer Jennifer. No longer Jenny. For the rest of my time at UWC, I was Miss Fresher.
Ooh.
I was Miss UWC.
Yo.
To a point where my name was not even a thing
known
at all. Till this day, I had someone DM me. I'm like, "Oh, Miss Fresher, where have you been? What's up?" I'm like,
it was huge. I was there. I witnessed it.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. And then, I finished my varsity years, and then I went to Taiwan just for like a breather. And then I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for Miss SA. So I came back home, and then I applied, and then I didn't fall through. Like, I didn't go through to like the next stage with Miss SA. So
that's the first time try.
Yes, my first time trying. Yeah. And that was actually during COVID. It was the time where you had to send in your virtual video.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes.
I remember that.
So, I feel like now when I think about it, I did rush it a little bit because a lot of people had told me to partake in it at 22 already, but I said I wanted to finish school first. I wanted to complete like a lot of the things that I want to complete because, you know, with Miss SA, once you're in there, it's very demanding.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that once I'm in there, I'm fully committed. Yeah. You know. So then when I didn't go through, I would say like my family and my friends, they were a lot more disappointed than I was because they believed in me so much. And like for me, I went in there saying like, let's see what happens, you know, because I did also feel like it was a bit rushed from my end. So when it didn't fall through, I was like, we're going to try again. Don't worry, we're going to try again. And that we did. We tried again the following year, and unfortunately again I didn't fall through it, not even to the next stage or anything. And when that happened, I think that's when I felt it, because that year I was way more mentally, emotionally, physically prepared for it. I changed my diet. I used to work out a lot because I just was like, if I am physically fit and healthy, my mind is also going to be healthy. I started partaking in like certain classes, doing certain things to just like, you know, to teach me get me ready and teach me what would be expected, what is there to see. I was like studying like the old Miss essays, watching videos, you know, and just like asking advice also from like a mentor. I dived deep in, and then when I didn't get that again, I also prayed about it before I went into it. And so then when it didn't happen, I was crushed, I was upset, and in that moment I didn't have I'm giving up. I was just like, okay, maybe this is not God's plan for me, or this is not God's will for me for now. But at the time I was like, I don't want to do this.
You were so put off.
I
think that's what happens when you do something.
And then I also realized, like, you know, with Miss SA is like a job. They also have their candidates that they are looking for. So don't think because they rejected you, you are not good enough, or, you know, you shouldn't ever feel that way. You shouldn't feel like, oh, what did I do wrong? What should I be skinnier? Should I be taller? Should I buy more expensive clothes? Like, what should I do better? And it's not like that at all. And it's like a job, and they know what they want and looking for.
Exactly. And I feel like with something like that, it's so subjective in the sense that it really isn't personal to you. It really is about what their target is at that particular time. And because it's so focused on your appearance and your looks, and those change all the time. So what, like Zozi tried how many times? You know,
quite a few times.
You see, and eventually, look, she's like Miss Universe. Like, are we trying to say she did something to change how she was at first? No, we're just saying that sometimes it's the time that just isn't, you know, that isn't working out. So
that's exactly what it is.
Okay, I've got a few questions, and I'm not sure if they are relevant or not. When it comes to
come through,
you guys being on stage, And here comes the time when the questions are coming. Mentally, what happens to you as candidates?
Accident.
Yo.
10
past 4.
Do they brief you first to give you an idea of what's likely to be asked?
Oh yes.
So that gives me a bit of relief.
You would think. So while you are practicing doing the pageant, like how you're going to walk, whatever. Obviously, there's practices. You can't just same day delivery. You know, you have to practice and how you're walking, where you're going to be standing, how you're going to be standing, and all of that. So with that, they brief you and say these are the possible questions that they're going to ask you, but they might switch it. For example, I might ask you, where did you buy your cap? Right? But then on stage they'll be like, your cap is quite it's exquisite, and it's giving me vibes of Africa. Can you explain more about it? Like, they go into depth with it. So now it's like it's the same question, but it's like asked in depth, and you're not.
And confused the
But
Umalumu Steve Harvey in 2015 during
Miss Universe. Yeah.
When's I mistake? Wa announce wrong.
Shame, it wasn't him, that was the teleprompter.
Sure.
Yes, that's yeah.
I had to defend
that
my uncle.
That type of moment, what does it do to you as a person
when you're on stage?
When you, as in like you've won, but now you didn't win anymore.
You've been told you've won, and then now you know it's no longer you. Charlotte has won. And
we're asking you because you are into pageantry. You know how it's like to be on stage.
Yes. I love pageantry. So being on stage, walking on stage, and like all of that, like it's my place of like I'm in my element.
Home.
You know,
you are such
I'm in my element
on that stage.
So sometimes I forget about the fact that it's a competition. So when it comes to okay, now we have to announce the winners. Now you like, oh my goodness, I completely forgot about this. Now you become nervous, but then it's like, even if you don't win, you enjoyed yourself, didn't you? You had fun, didn't you?
Sure.
Some people don't think like that.
Ending.
Some people don't think like that. Some people are like, I need to win this.
Sure.
For me, it's about enjoying it and the experience. Winning is amazing. It's great. But also having the joy of experiencing what you love was great.
That's such a beautiful answer.
Yeah. But winning is nice, guys. It's very nice. I command.
Okay. We've come to the end of our conversation.
Felt like 2 minutes.
Come on.
So quick.
Ziyakhipha Mathibeli, thank you, man, for coming through. And I've learned so much. You've done so much.
Same.
Yes.
I was so tempted to break the rules and ask your age because of the things you've done, but I'll keep it to myself for now.
Okay.
Unless
you don't have to be scared.
Oh, okay.
So I'm 21 plus some love of 7 years.
Thank you so much, girl.
Yeah. So if you just combine those two together,
you'll get your answer.
Also, my birthday is coming up on the 21st of January. So anything is accepted from today going forward. Thank you so much. Instagram is Ziyakhipha6to8. Facebook is Ziyakhipha6to8, and TikTok is _genderbay.
Ooh.
Sharp. Hey, Charlotte.
I just feel like so much was said
she
tonight. I'm literally fanning myself today because I'm so excited. But it was so lovely being back, and I'm so excited to be back to this new year, to have the privilege to, have another year added. Until next time.
Yep. Until next time, from my side, goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Ooh, short and sweet.
Sringa bhaya nabantu bonke who inspire start amandla ku-interviews in pursuit of dreams and desires. Are you watching from ekhaya? Welcome sisi kumaphupho wakho wonke, don't retire. No bude emaphupheni wakho wonke, don't retire. Subscribe Ziyakhipha6to8, spetty content yakho is a date, cause how you relate. Subscribe Ziyakhipha6to8, spetty content yakho is a date, cause how you relate. Ulindebala, subscribe.